Session. Can we have a round of applause, please, once again? Okay, so what is next now? What is next in quantum computing? That's what we're going to talk about with some stalwarts of this industry. May I please call upon Mr. Ajai Chowdhry, Chairman of MGB, National Quantum Mission, onto the podium. Mr. Bodhaditya Santra, Co-founder and CTO, Pre-NISHK. Mr. Vidur Raj, founder of Quanastra as well. Please, sir, come on stage. And moderating this session would be Dr. JBV Reddy, who's the Mission Director of the National Quantum Mission. Big round of applause, please.
Good evening, everyone. Presentation, please. Thank you. Which one? Yeah, I would like to give a glance about the National Quantum Mission before putting up the questions to the panelists. Yeah, quantum technology is one of the 9 missions of the national importance. This being driven by the Prime Minister's Science, Technology, Innovation Advisory Council. This mission intends to leverage cutting-edge scientific research. This mission is implemented by Department of Science and Technology along with the other key ministries under the guidance of Mission Governing Board chaired by Dr. Ajai Chowdhry sir. Yeah, quantum technologies have critical application potential in several sectors. For example, in communication sector, we can improve data security. In health sector, it can enable less invasive, more accurate diagnostics and considerably increase speed of drug discovery. And for instance, forensic sector, it can enhance the security, increase the speed of big data analysis and support financial forecasting. Yeah, NQM has 4 verticals: computing, communication, sensing and metrology, materials and devices. These are some of the key technology domains. NQM has specific deliverables to deliver in each vertical. For instance, under computing, to develop quantum computers with 1000 qubits, under quantum communication, develop secure quantum communication, satellite-based and fiber-based networks. We have a structured future roadmap which will be implemented in 3 phases. In phase 1, prototype development, phase 2, product development and deployment, and business development and economic growth. Department of Science and Technology established 4 thematic hubs, and these T hubs will coordinate with technical groups and drive the innovation. These T-hubs are Section 8 companies. These T-hubs are responsible for technology development, capacity building, supporting startups, industry partnership, and international collaborations. I would like to give a glance about these 4 thematic hubs. Computing hub established at IISc Bangalore, coordinating with 4 TGs, technical groups. And communication hub established at IIT Madras in association with CDOT, coordinating with 5 technical groups. Sensing and metrology hub established at IIT Bombay and coordinating with 2 technical groups. And materials and devices hub established at IIT Delhi, coordinating with 3 technical groups. This was launched on 30th September 2024. And these T-hubs brought in about 150 researchers from 43 institutes across India. DST is very keen to facilitate growth of startup ecosystem and make them active part of the technology delivery. T-hubs are facilitating the national facilities and open to the startups, and also T-hubs are providing business and technical mentorship, and equity support. NQM developed specific guidelines for onboarding the startups since quantum technology is a nascent area and huge investment is required. In first phase, we supported 8 startups and launched on 26 November 2024. DST is very actively engaging industry stakeholders to enable technology translation. Through T-Hubs, national facilities will be access to the industry stakeholders and co-development of technologies and eventually develop revenue sharing model. As a part of the NQM, DST initiated quantum awareness program among students, researchers, industry, and policymakers. DST intends to build capacity and contribute to policy development. As a part of this initiative, NQM, in collaboration with AICTE, developed a curriculum on quantum technologies for BTech minor, and efforts are underway, book writing, video recording, and faculty development programs. DST will provide financial assistance to technical institutes for setting up the lab infrastructure for quantum technologies. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I would like to request Chairman, MGB, National Quantum Mission. Sir, you are as a Chairman, MGB, what is your vision and role to take this mission? India can become a global leader. Over to you, sir.
Can you all hear me? Okay. So first of all, I'd like to find out how many people know what is quantum. Very few. So let me just start from there. Quantum computing, if you look at classical computing, the way it was till now, it was actually involving binary, which is, it uses 0 and 1. 0 or 1. That's what binary is. In quantum, we use 0 and 1 in a very simple way. Fundamentally, what that does, it makes it much, much faster than a classical computer. But the classical computers are used for normal applications. Quantum computers are actually used for more advanced applications like drug development, climate change, financial modeling, etc., etc. We never use quantum computers for accounting and all those things. It just will not work. So that's the big difference between quantum and normal computers. Why did we set up quantum mission? Is that as a country, we need to be looking at having strategic autonomy. Today, more so, because of the changes that are taking place in the world is becoming unipolar. It used to be multipolar before Trump arrived. But now we are a unipolar world. That means that each country to its own. And as a result, what is super critical for India is to have what I call tech sovereignty. We need to own technologies. We cannot be dependent on others. So when we set out to do the National Quantum Mission, the big difference that was there in any other mission and this one is that we have very clear focus on research which leads to products, not research that leads to writing papers. So that's the big difference of what we are trying to do in the National Quantum Mission. So as Dr. Reddy told you, there are clear targets for each area. Let's say we need to create a 1,000-qubit computer in a certain period of time. These kind of targets are what are being given to different researchers to work on making this happen. Parallel to this, we are not just depending on the research and education community. We have a very deep focus on supporting startups, because we believe that startups are going to be a huge part of our success. So, normal startup programs that are there in the country will give funding of 5 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, 1 crore. In this startup community, when we sat with the startups, we discovered that their requirements are for much larger sums of money. Now, this area, most VCs don't understand. So to make this change happen, we said we will give up to 30 crores to each startup, depending on the level of research that they're doing, the kind of equipment that they need to buy, kind of software they need to buy to make it happen. And therefore, we believe with this kind of generous support for startups, we will be able to go faster on development of products in India for the world. So that is why we have created this scheme for startups. No other government agency in the country gives anywhere close to this. We are the largest in terms of giving. We've already given away close to 76 crores to 8 startups. So it's not that we are talking about it, we've actually acted upon it. Okay. So this is the thing that we are trying to do in the quantum mission. And we want to make sure that we keep up with technology. We need to own technology at the end of the day because technology sovereignty is essential for India. You know, now the US is standing on its own, China is standing on its own. I believe very strongly that both the US and China would not like us to succeed. They would resist our rise. Why that will happen? Because it's all become unipolar world. Everybody to themselves. In certain areas, US may work with us, but China definitely will not work with us. But I think EU will probably work with us because EU is feeling sort of left out by the US recently with what Vance went and said to the EU community. So I think for us as a country, we want to make sure that we own technology, create technology, and have it done ourselves, right? So with that, I'd like to close here, and maybe some others should be.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate. Now, I would like to request Professor B. Santra. He is from IIT Delhi, and also he is a co-founder and CTO of Finnish startup. What is quantum computing? What is the advantage from this quantum speed up? How does Finnish technology contribute to it? Professor Santra.
Okay. So I hope all of you can hear me. So this is, so this is a great question. So what is a quantum computing? So I hope all of you in this room and whoever is listening understand what is computing. It is as simple as if you would like to add 1 plus 1, right? And if you want to go into more complex mathematical models which may get into AI, so this is all computing. So by quantum, we are not doing too much different, but we are trying to, get into the space where it is not possible to go with classical. As rightly said by Dr. Chowdhry, so this is just a realization of 1 and 0 at the same time. So there are a lot of probability involved into it. And if you want to do this, you need to look into certain things. So for computers, so the computers or the smartphone, what we are having, these are having using the main component behind it is semiconductor, transistors, and so on. For a quantum computer, you need certain things like atoms and molecules and something, ions, which will have those properties. So for all of you, it is not really important to know what is this component. As you, most of you or many of you do not know what is inside your mobile phone, you just use it. So what is more important to know how you can use quantum computer for the benefit of the whole society, for the whole industrial revolution and so on. Okay. So now going to like how the speed up can happen. So speed up is having a couple of different meanings. So the best we can do in quantum is exponential speed up. Now so beside that there are also some polynomial and so on. Now this is a bit of a relative word, I would say, because so the building time of a quantum computer is huge. So we have to wait and we have to show our patience and we have to give lot of dedication in order to bring this machine into work. But as soon as it is there, it will solve certain class of problems. It's not that it will solve all class of problems. Are we building the quantum computer for solving all problems? The answer is certainly no, because if you can solve certain things with a computer with a, let's say, 2 GB RAM, will you spend that? Will you spend enough to buy a computer which is having, let's say, 64 GB RAM? I think the answer is no, right? In a similar manner, you will not spend the amount of what you need for making a quantum computer, but there are certain very complicated problems which are in the drug design, for example. As we have been just passing out of this COVID period, we know what is the importance of having a targeted drug design in a very fastest time scale. These are some kind of problems. There is a huge supply chain related problems, optimization problem, how these flight routes will be designed and so on. This has direct impact in global warming and climate change and so on, because if you can optimize those routes, you can minimize the carbon emission and so on. So quantum computing has a huge potential in that, and I think there are three things are here which I would like to mention. One is realize. I think in India, the government and many of us has realized this is a potential thing which we should have now. The second one is recognize. So thanks to the government and to DST that they have really recognized it, and they have now really selected for the first time that 8 startups and a number of technical groups would be dedicatedly supported by government for making this ambition a reality for India and for the global. And then the third thing, once you have this realization and recognition, you get the monetization. Once you have this monetization, then you start to unlock these economical value doors. And that is the point when all the stakeholders in the country, starting from 8 to 80, and everybody in all kind of profession start getting benefit of it. Because if we start getting good revenue, it will be reflecting in all part of the country. So then the final question, like you say, how Prenisk is contributing to this ambitious goal. So Prenisk is a company who is dedicated to making high precision diode lasers, which are at the heart of controlling atoms, ions, nitrogen vacancy in diamonds, and entangled photon pairs for quantum communication and so on. So we are actually manufacturing these laser diodes, so diode lasers and all electronics and other things, so that all kind of hassles are gone. So you have to understand one thing, that money is not the only problem. There are also other geopolitical issues which will come. And it can happen that if you have money, you will not be able to buy a quantum computer or the components of quantum computer. So if you would like to be really self-dependent on this quantum domain, we have to make our own technology. And these lasers are a very, very good coherent photon provider and at the heart of quantum technology. So this is our ambition, that we make this reality happen in India for all of us, and then of course for the globe.
Thank you, Professor Santra. Yeah, Dr. Vidur Raj, founder, Quanastra. You are the one of the startups selected for financial support under National Quantum Mission. How does this help for you?
Well, it has been great help, and firstly, thank you very much for the invitation. So I think one of the biggest thing, obviously, money helps, because for any startup, you need the money to move ahead. But I think perhaps the biggest thing that it has done for us is giving us the recognition. So even if I needed 20 lakh rupees from some investor, like maybe 3-4 months back, we could not get it. But now there are people who contact us and are ready to give relatively good enough valuation and also money if we show some prototype and stuff like that. So that's the first thing. So we have got some sort of recognition. Even if I am here, it's because of that National Quantum Mission funding that has been done. The second thing that I believe that it allows us to do, like what sir was mentioning, that the quantum of money is good enough. Like if we would have gone for any other funding route, even if we would have got, it would have been 50-70 lakh as at max. This is good enough quantum of money, not enough how much we asked, but still good enough that we can make our product, build the prototype. If not all 3 prototype that we promised, at least 2 or 3 will be done almost to 100% level. So the quantum of money was second best thing that happened out of this National Quantum Mission fund that we got. And finally, I think the support of the ecosystem itself, because I don't come from, I have been out of India for about 11 years or so. So I was not part of this ecosystem. So this, at least for me, what it has done is that it has also allowed me to become part of this ecosystem. Now, if I go to IIT or IISc, I don't feel like an outsider. I can still be part of that ecosystem. So that's three things that it has done for us, for Quanastra, and obviously visibility as well. So that's...
Yeah, thank you very much. Sir, coming back to you, sir, you are a visionary, full support and your guidance, the quantum mission is going on. Effective collaboration across academia, industry and government is very crucial, sir, in this quantum mission also. How can the wider community get involved and contribute to this mission? How we can ensure, sir?
Well, actually, I think we've already done the first step, which is getting everybody together, which was a challenge to start with. But this is something that we have to go much deeper. So we will have to create probably a list of corporates that we want to work with. We need to create a list of top scientists that we want to work with. We need to create a list of all the work that is going on in software companies. If we can get this done to start with, and we start with a list of about 100 people that can actually start to collaborate in the first phase, that itself will, to my mind, set the example for the rest of it to happen. Let's not try and do 2,000 people at one shot, it won't happen. So I think one of the biggest challenges in the country is that the industry, academia link is very poor. It doesn't really happen. So I think we need to initiate it and do it in a smallish group to start with, make sure it starts to work, and if we see results, then we take it much further.
Thank you very much, sir. Due to time constraint, I am not taking further questions. At this moment, I would like to thank all panelists and for their valuable insights, and organizers for successful of this session, and participants for their enthusiasm. Thank you so much. Thank you.